I've been keeping up with Will and Jada's little storyline like I'm keeping up with the Kardashians. It is just prime entertainment watching Will Smith, someone who's pretty beloved, just get absolutely disrespected over and over, his face spat in by his so-called wife, as it were. He's been Jada's personal punching bag for quite some time now, it seems, and it's only recently came to the public view. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where the bully is just following SpongeBob around and repeatedly punching him. That's what Jada is doing to Will, and he is taking it all. The dude just can't catch a break. She's taking his heart out and just not even stomping on it. She's doing the Cotton Eye Joe on top of it. She is emoting on his now lifeless corpse. And it's so sad, but oh, it's so entertaining. And I kind of just wanted to run through the timeline of events with you today. Everything that led up to the infamous Oscar slap that was heard around the world. You all have seen it. You're all familiar with that situation. But what you may not be familiar with is some things like how Jada's been saying that Tupac is her soulmate, and how apparently they've had an open relationship since like 2013. So I want to take you to 2018. The point in time where Will Smith revealed that Jada said that they aren't married anymore. And this was Will Smith's own personal doomsday. This was the end times for Will. It's where everything just started to get drastically worse since then. He's quoted as saying, "We don't even say we're married anymore. We refer to ourselves as life partners." Where you get into that space where you realize you were literally with somebody for the rest of your life, there's no deal breakers. There's nothing she could do, ever. Nothing that would break our relationship. She has my support till death. Sorry, I'm laughing. It's just the foreshadowing and the irony. You know what I mean? And it feels so good to get that space when you're not complaining and worrying and demanding that a person can be a certain thing. This right now is the best time of my life ever. I've never been happier. And then in 2020, it came out that Jada had a previous relationship with August Alsina when she was separated from Will Smith. And that little entanglement happened back in the year that Jesus Christ was born, in 2016, and it only recently came to light in 2020. And then in 2021, some more stuff from the past came out to the surface and proved that Will and Jada didn't have that perfect fairy tale relationship that everybody thought they did. You know that J. Cole song, that Jada and that Will love from the song? Yeah, turns out that couldn't be more fucking wrong, because Will Smith started talking about how him and Jada went through a rough patch in 2011. He's quoted as saying, "We realized that it was a fantasy illusion that we could make each other happy." And then, of course, 2022 was when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars after Chris Rock did what he gets paid for, being funny. He made a joke about Jada's hair, where she has, alopecia? Is that how you say that? And Will obviously took offense to that for her. And that's when Will decided to greet Chris with the palm of his hand. And after the slap is, of course, when Will said the infamous line, say the line, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And, of course, he did apologize shortly after that, like a day or two later. He apologized about slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars. He made this whole PR, response that someone else definitely wrote for him or whatever. But then in June, like March, April, May, June, like 4 months later, I had to count it up, do some quick elementary math on my fingers. Jada addressed the Oscar slap, and this is where she said that her and Will were actually separated at the time, and that she didn't want him to do that. She didn't need him to defend her, and basically called him a pussy-ass bitch. To sum it up for you, give it to you in layman's terms. Oh my god, she said, quote, that they had been living completely separate lives since 2016, and they got exhausted trying to fix their marriage that had been fractured by a lot of things. And then, that's where it comes out that the most recent update, the most recent revelation, the most recent chapter, she said that her and Tupac are soulmates. She said, "If there is such a thing as past lives, I definitely think that Pac and I have traveled a few together." Whoo-wee. Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. That boy Will is down tremendously. But then most recently, the most recent update to this situation was on Jada's little book tour she's doing currently, where she said that her and Will are currently trying to, work things out or whatever, because Will Smith joined her on this book tour where they said, where he said, it is a sloppy public experiment in unconditional love. And then Jada apparently said, Will and me are good. After her saying, after the Oscar situation that they weren't together and all that, but it's just now they're good. And that takes us to the final stop on this tour, which is the end of the video. That's the whole little relationship of Jada and Will summed up, the key points, the funny talking points. It's just, in summary, Jada doesn't seem to like Will that much, but Will keeps following her around like a lost little puppy dog. Keep his wife's name out your mouth, even though they weren't together at the time, apparently, so she wasn't his wife technically then. But you can put other things in her mouth, because, the whole them splitting up and her having another relationship while they were split up. Anyways, there was a joke to be made there. There was a joke in the middle of all that. You can find it and laugh at it if you do find it. Sorry if I seem a bit awkward during this video. I'm not wearing pants currently. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.